Hi everyone, just wanted to drop in and give an update about our case. We filed with the K-1 visa going to the United States from the Philippines. My fiance had finished up her NOA-2, which was the second notice of action, meaning that it was approved at the US Service Center in California. And then we also received our notice that we were approved at the NVC, which is the National Visa Center in New Hampshire. And our case had been sent over to the Philippines and we had scheduled our interview date. So our original interview date would have been on October 17th. Today is October 29th when I'm recording this. Something happened. It's called the sputum, the dreaded sputum. I was kind of confused about what this was exactly because we'd see posts about it occasionally on different visa groups on Facebook or online, and it ended up happening to us, and that was unexpected. But because of that, we are delayed right now with our visa. So I want to explain a little bit about what the sputum is. So the main purpose of this is to ensure that anybody immigrating to the United States does not have TB or tuberculosis. The reason that the Philippines is a country that has this test is because it has a really high prevalence of TB historically. In fact, just this past year of World Health Organization data, they're number 1 in the world. It was just like a random spike. If you look at the graph, I'll put it on right here. This data here is from the World Health Organization for instances of tuberculosis. It's for every 100,000 people, so if you look, the numbers are relatively small. It's still a rare disease, but the Philippines here is number 1 of all countries listed here below. I'll just scroll down so you can take a look. They have a threshold, and any country that's above that threshold is required to have TB or sputum testing before the visa is issued to the applicant. So what happens with this is, for example, in the Philippines, the one hospital that's verified and accredited is the St. Luke's Medical Center. So when they have their medical appointment prior to the embassy interview, one of the things they check for is sputum. They do this through doing an X-ray scan of the lungs. And if you get the sputum notification, it doesn't mean you have TB. Basically what it is they're looking for any kind of scarring or inflammation in the lungs. And if they see any of that, they automatically flag your case and they give you the notice that you're gonna have to come back for additional testing. So my fiance went in, she got the notification, and she had to go back like a week and a half later to Manila to the St. Luke's Medical Center to do additional testing. So that's what happens. That's the reasoning of why they do the sputum testing. And I can understand it. I mean, obviously, if you do have TB, that's a serious disease that you want to take care of. But I just wish that they were a little bit more transparent. Now, the way the sputum test works is you have 3 consecutive days of testing. There's a short-term test that brings a result back like the next day. And then there's a long-term portion of the test. So for each of those 3 days, if you test negative for all 3, then you don't have to do the 6-month treatment where they keep you there in Manila for 6 months and you have to go to St. Luke's every single day to get treatment. So that's if you have negative for all 3 of those tests. So if it is negative, then what they do afterwards is an 8-week culture test. So they take a culture test from all 3 of those samples and they let it develop for 2 months. And if the bacteria for TB develops, then they'll call you. So they check it every 3 weeks. So like 3 weeks will go by after your initial testing. Then if you don't get a call, that's good news because it means that your test is still negative, nothing showed up yet. Then you'll wait another 3 weeks. If you don't get a call, that's great news. And then there's just the 2 weeks left to round out the 8 weeks. So right now we are about a week in waiting. She'll be going back later in December for the follow-up sputum testing. So that's where we're at. Our case is delayed a little bit. It was unexpected, but we're pushing through. Now Jess is planning on bringing her dog with her, and we make a joke that The dog's all ready to go, but the owner isn't. Has all of the paperwork done, and we got the different vaccinations and rabies test finished up, and it tested negative, but just waiting for the owner. We're gonna keep on going. We're gonna make it happen, whatever it takes to get through this wait. So hopefully we'll be able to schedule our new visa interview, assuming everything goes well with the sputum culture testing, probably sometime early 2024. We are definitely looking forward to having a negative result and eventually being able to travel over here. So thanks for listening to the update. Hopefully we have good news in a couple months from now.